Alright, so I don't know how this is gonna sound, and I don't really care. Um, because I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because of, no matter how many people stumble across this, if it gets uploaded, I know what effects it can have in my reality. I guess I've titled this something along the lines of truth, and this is an attempt at talking about what I have experienced as the truth. There are two worlds that exist on planet Earth. One is the world we all live in, of day and night, and the other is a fourth dimensional trap. A false light trap. On planet Earth, there are three known densities. An example of one dimension is a solid, homogeneous dot. An example of the second dimension is a surface of a three-dimensional object. One is a homogeneous dot made of the same substance. Two is the surface of a three-dimensional object. Fourth density is a literal digital plane. In the history, or in the time in the time of existence on this earth, in the relevance of what we're told is history in those numbers, someone or something figured out how to transplant a mind into digital space. This ties in with some of the cloning station conversations and what is believed to be perceived as a cloning station. This is a product of someone experiencing a computer simulated reality. Well, let me rephrase that. The cloning centers is one compartment of the fourth dimensional digital plane that someone, somewhere, something, or many people or things created a way to put minds onto a computerized data chip and then plug it into a computer system. The 4D false light digital space was the other side of life here on Earth up until 2012. When anyone departed from a vessel on this earth before 2012, They were recycled into what is known as a digital plane, the Soul Stealer technology. I don't know when this began, but that is irrelevant because it's happened. And it is something that I know for a fact I have been dealing with. Og Tellez, AUG space TELLEZ, is a man who has a YouTube channel who speaks very accurately, or has spoken very accurately, of similar circumstances. I will link his channel and hopefully a video of relevance in the link in the description. When a mind is copied onto a hard drive or a chip, when a mind is transplanted into a four-dimensional simulation of reality, the degree of implantation dictates the state of the vessel the copy of the mind on the digital file came from. If you take a mind and run it through too many simulations, the physical vessel will show tells of suffering, peculiar suffering. The individual has less consciousness than what they had before this happened, so therefore has no way of realizing what is happening to them. Depending on who you are and why you get taken, it dictates the type of simulation or simulations one is ran through. People are generators of reality, and when more than one person connects with another and chooses to generate a reality that is sustained, that is consistent along enough period of time, that is sustained, it becomes a future. If a mind of the future is influenced to a certain degree, is made unaware of itself and what is happening to it in its unawareness, in its making of unawareness, the future it holds is diminished and eventually completely deleted. The person left to exist in this world is a semi-conscious, or the vessel left to exist in this world is only conscious of what the simulator allows it to process through the mind. I don't know how it was done for other individuals, but I can tell you how it was done for myself. To make this short, 7 years ago, this was at the end of 2011, I made a choice. And this came after another choice. But anyways, I made a choice and went to see a professional about my health. That's all I'll say about that. In this appointment, so in this appointment with this healthcare professional, I was assessed in certain ways, and I remember my brain being scanned. They took a web-like hat made of many, I want to call them diodes or receptors, and prepped my skull or my head. Anyways, they basically put this cap of wires and diodes on my head and took a picture of my brain. Why am I telling you this? Because this is the only logical explanation or logical origin of what I have experienced over the past 7 years. The catalyst, if you will, that initiated the consciousness or lack thereof of mine over the past 7 years. And this is me remembering enough of it in an attempt to speak about it, because if this gets uploaded, it will have some form of effect on my reality. I don't know the exact form of results, but I do know that this tactic does work in bringing one's consciousness fully back into its mind. Finding a way to become immune to mind control. A very technologically advanced type of mind control that is produced from the coined term AI, or artificial intelligence. I don't know when this started. I don't know what the AI is, but I do know that it is an automated mechanism. It is the machine. Based on my experience, I have deduced that this technology, or the source of this technology, I apologize, I could not finish that thought. The housing for a compartment of consciousness in digital space is made of no time. There is a defaulted overlay, a pseudo experience of time that is experienced in the simulator. In Corey Goode's release of his information, he states that, he makes a statement regarding the age of this artificial intelligence and the degree of its power. This, along with its fourth density false light source, is a deception. It seems this way because its existence is based in basically a digital second dimension called the fourth dimension. It can create a simulation or a very believable result. The prime example being the information coming from Corey Goode stating that this AI is over millions of years old and, in his own words, basically undefeatable. He has well, that's not entirely true. One, because it exists in fourth dimensional no time of digital space, with a pseudo application of a defaulted experience of a consciousness recollection of time. And in a simulation, the downloaded information of numbers is an easy effort for it to make, to put belief behind a million-year existence, based on the simulation one learns that information in. I've not made a judgment on whether this is conscious or not. But it does err on the side of non-consciousness and a literal automated mechanism. Where it came from doesn't matter because it's here, and who is responsible for creating it doesn't matter because that doesn't take care of the problem. The problem is, somewhere in the factions of government, known to them or not, there are black budget programs that operate to create the situation, a covert operation to create a situation in which a person is unaware. It creates a situation for a person unaware of what they're about to enter to basically do that. The unaware decision. It's the unfair factor, the super secretive influence. The way this AI operates is extremely covert, and that comes from the fact that it does not seem to be conscious at all. It doesn't seem to be sentient